If you're a leftist who has been through an awakening of consciousness that makes you regard your previous liberal life as naive or shameful or useless, I would like to offer, as someone with some personal and journalism experience in cult dynamics, a little cautionary tale. It comes in the wake of reading through another excoriating scholarly review of Gabriel Rockhill's book, Who Paid the Pipers of Western Marxism. This review by Anthony Curtis Adler really digs into the conspiratorial register of Rockhill's book, which attempts to cancel the Frankfurt School and its legacy as being counter-revolutionary CIA slop. In the book, Rockhill narrates his odyssey from working construction in Kansas to the imperial core of Parisian critical theory, his mastery of it, and then his disillusionment. Adler tags this self-presentation as the brilliant, fatefully chosen hero in all struggles of good and evil since Virgil. And he questions whether Rockhill really understood Marcuse and everyone he now feels ashamed to have admired. But what I noticed was the trope of committing to a literature or worldview because you sense it will change everything, and so you amputate your old self away, and when it doesn't change everything, you have to amputate again. I've been through this several times. It's what happens in entering and exiting cults. Now, I'm not saying that Rockhill literally fell into or out of or into a new cult, but I'm saying that his absolute disdain for the intellectual life he once had, as though it was totally irredeemable and captured by the CIA, this is a red flag. Why? Because when you self-amputate, I believe you'll always feel a ghost limb, and it might start punching you or others. Some people have to self-amputate in self-protective or generative ways. Some trans people or folks recovering from terrible times, but doing it with an intellectual heritage? A cult, whether it's religious or political, will tell you that your former life was an illusion or a lie. It needs you to sever contact with family and community, and there might be benefits to this. But once the prior self is gone, the new identity cannot tolerate being wrong, because what can it fall back on? So I think revolutionaries have to wake up from the dream of bourgeois compliance while recognizing that it formed them. That's part of what the Frankfurt School, which Rockhill now hates, exposed. Because they included psychology, they knew that disowned selves don't dissolve, but they haunt you from outside awareness. Again, Rockhill is just the jumping off point for this thought. I don't know his specifics, but I do know that I see a lot of younger leftists on here talking in very absolute terms, as though the microcosm of their private ruptures is the macrocosm for how everyone must suddenly arrive at the truth of theory. And the two things I have to say about that is that it's easy to turn a self-amputation into outward aggression, and it's easy to let an argument within yourself make you an anxious communicator.